Hello, everybody. I'm Marieta. I work at the Ministry of Agriculture, which is managing authority of EIFRD, and I'm responsible for LEADER. Slovenia implements a joint multi-fund approach combining the agriculture and regional fund. We have developed SCOs for both funds. For ERDF, the use of SCOs is mandatory on the basis of 53 article of CPR regulation up to projects of 200,000. So we have designed different forms of SCOs for all three types of support: for preparatory support of local action groups, implementation of projects, and for support for management and animation of local action groups. We paid the preparatory support for local development strategies until 2027 as a lump sum based on a methodology we prepared. It was paid in 2 phases when milestones were reached. After the first phase, when LACs were formed, we paid 30% of lump sum, and once local action groups prepared and submit strategies, we paid the remaining 70% of lump sum. For implementation of projects and support for projects under including cooperation LAC projects, we use the options provided in CPR regulation. We use quite the same options as SCO options in Interreg programs in Slovenia. So beneficiaries for LEADER project can choose one of 2 project types based on the main type of activities and eligible costs. For softer non-investments projects, where most activities are direct staff costs are paid in the form of standard scales for unit costs, so we use 7 different hourly rates. And the remaining costs then are paid as a flat rate of 40% of eligible staff costs. And the second type, projects which involve more investments, external services, equipment, and so on. These costs are paid as actual costs in project, while staff costs are paid as flat rate of 20% of eligible costs. And then for support for LAC management, monitoring, and evaluation of local action strategies, we pay this support as a lump sum. We have a methodology for this, and the lump sum is paid when LAC reached milestones, which are also defined in CLD regulation. These milestones are linked to LAC tasks. So, like until the end of this year, local action groups have to prepare and submit projects for at least 30% of their budget. So this is a milestone, and every year they have to do some number of animation activities and so on. And at the end, we can say that we have many good experiences with using SCOs for standard scales and flat rates in projects. We can take SCOs options from other EU mechanisms. Of course, there is less administrative burdens, less evidence required, easier preparation of applications, but still we have many also negative experiences or concerns, like if it is difficult to define fair and relevant hourly rates because LEADER projects are very different. We didn't have good historical data, and the cost of labor has increased in the last year. And if the hourly rate is low, then this also represents lower basis for the flat rate of 40%. And there are quite a lot of misunderstanding regarding the correct use of flat rate, 20% and 40%. LACs are uncertain about how detailed results need to be proven. We have also concerns about double funding. And in the case of flat rate, where projects also include some small investments, equipment, applicants sometimes think that they don't need to provide national permits like for thematic trays, for small buildings. And we have concern that if results won't be achieved, how the flat rate will be paid out. So at the end, for lump sums, we have mainly positive experiences. Tasks of LACs are clear, and we had historical data, so preparation of methodology wasn't very complicated. Now LACs have more time for animation and other LAC tasks. There is flexibility for LACs in how lump sum can be spent, more for work or more for material costs or services. But still, from the managing authority perspective, there is no detailed control what the money is used for. And milestones need to be clearly and realistic defined. If a specific milestone is not achieved, there is no payment made. And not all milestones depend only on the performance of the LACs. Some also depend on procedures on managing authority and also paying agency. So thank you very much.